parental rights under attack. And you might have heard of the Convention on the Rights of the Child. In 1990, Belgium has recently legalized medical assisted suicide for children. Now, their youngest victims, as you can see here, are 11 and 9 years old. So my question is, who's protecting the children? Yet here in this child-centric or child rights-centric legal framework, they are making decisions that could end their lives. It's tragic that framework is not working. So the notion that the state can protect the child by affording children's rights rather than supporting and upholding parental protections of that child's best interest is a destructive international law value that is seeping into American culture, American schools, and our American government and courts.
My name is Mike Ryan. This is a question for Ms. Gruber. During your presentation, I'm confused as to why you felt you needed to provide misinformation to this audience to scare them. Regarding the Convention on the Rights of the Child, regarding euthanasia of children who are terminally ill and in pain, that requires parental notification and consent, even in those countries which you mentioned. So I'm confused as to why you would present it in another way, as if these children are being killed against their parents' wishes. Is the whole point to scare people? Is that what you're up to?
Thank you. Did you catch your name?
Michael.
Michael. Thank you, Michael, for your question. I was showing the difference between, and it's an ideological difference between American law and international law. International law focuses on children's rights, and the state is the one who grants those rights and protections and is responsible for that child. Whereas in the American legal framework, its parents are responsible for those children.
Okay. So in highlighting this information that you say you're wanting to present, this dichotomy between American and international law, why did you elide the fact that parents must consent?
I'm sorry?
Why did you ignore the fact that parents must consent to euthanasia of their child if they're to be euthanized under the Convention on the Rights of the Child?
Everybody hear that?
In those countries.
So there are many cases where actually the government stepped in opposing the rights of the parent to continue medical treatment for their child because they deemed that it was not necessary, or it was too expensive. So you have in the UK the little baby who they wanted to continue the care on life support, and instead the state terminated them.
Yep.
So this is happening all over. Whether the parent, so when it comes down to the state versus the parent in these countries that have a CRC, the parents are losing.
Okay, just one more point of clarification here. That's not true.
We just have one follow-up?
That's
okay,
not
just
true.
To keep it even?
The state does not have any right to terminate the right of a child without the consent of the parent under the CRC.
Mike,
That's just the fact.
I wanted to give you...